Dinesh sir, within 2 minutes we can start our session, first session.
Yes, sir. We should.
Okay. So let's start, Dinesh sir. Let's proceed.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's start. Good evening, everyone. I am Vineet Raj Singh Kushwaha, Organizing Secretary, on behalf of the Organizing Committee of this 6 days Faculty Development Program on GenGeo AI, Synergizing Generative AI, GIS, and Smart Technologies and Sustainable Agriculture. Feel honored in welcoming you all on the 5th day of this FDP organized by IPS College of Technology and Management, Gwalior, with the support of AICT Atal. The program serves as a symbol of unwavering commitment to advancing professional growth, achieving academic excellence, and nurturing lifelong learning. Hence, we are proceeding to the 9th session of this 6 days faculty development program. I invite Mr. Nikhilesh Pao, Professor, Manager, and Capgemini, Pune. But before his speech, I would like to introduce Dr. Nikhilesh Ji to our audience. Nikhilesh Ji is a ProSci certified senior OCM consultant in Capgemini Invent. He has the specialization on management consulting like change management, corporate communication, etc. He has handled change management activities in various transition and transformation programs, along with large cloud transformations, transition, and Salesforce migration project. He has over 16 years of progressive experience across a broad range of functions in change management, corporate communications, along with having good knowledge in Prince2, Agile, and Scrum framework in big giants like Cognizant, TCS, Tech Mahindra, and now in Capgemini Invent. He has handled various top-notch clients in his career like HBSC, Jaguar Land Rover, Morgan Stanley, Citibank, Bank of Maharashtra, Asahi Europe, and there are many more. These are majorly from USA and Europe. He has global experience to handle various projects in digital communication and transformation area. He has completed his PG DITM from Symbiosis International University, Pune, and BE Honors in Information Technology area. I invite Mr. Nikhilesh Ji to deliver his talk on generative AI in real-time communication tools. Sir, floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Vinit sir. Thank you, Raju sir, for providing me such a great opportunity to deliver a little bit of my experience with you all audience. Hopefully, this will helpful for the everybody to get some or the other thing for their future career or something like that. So I would like to start with I would like to toggle between 2 3 slides or the Excel tracker or the practical tool which we will take care of at the end. So the major topic which we are trying to utilize here is real-time communication tool using AI. But before moving to the real-time communication tool, I would like to tell you about my career that I'm a ProSci certified change consultant. And change consultant means management consulting and organizational change management area, which I would like to start with. So just wanted to let you know that like management consulting helps organizations solve complex business problem. So all the
Excuse me, sir.
strategic way.
Uh, can we uh, can we proceed with the slide show screen on a slideshow mode?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So
Yeah,
basically, if you will see, like OCM is people side of change. So I have done a lot of changes like transformation area, transition area, and like big transformation like cloud transformation. Suppose there are 500 applications in legacy platform. We want to transform those into the cloud based platform. So how we will proceed? For that we need proper management, proper consulting experience. So there my role actually comes into the picture, because only development is not the end of the story. Until and unless people will not ready to accept or not ready to adopt the change. So this is the basic and foremost important thing which is nowadays in software industry. So I would not like to read out the entire slide. I just wanted to explain you. You can go through it later as well. So basically, the thing is, you just need to understand that adoption is part of any software. Suppose there is a payroll application too. Uh, can we migrate this from the legacy application to cloud at the end of the month? No. Why? Because if we will migrate it from at the end of the month, so what happened? People will not get, employee will not get their salary credited at the end of the month. So it will create a huge problem. So for that, we need to find out we need to check the impacts associated with that. What are the impacts based on of that? So calculating the impacts and all those things are part of that. Suppose we have calculated the impact. So after calculating the impact, what is the next phase? We need to create the communication plan. Why communication plan? Because we are informing people, like suppose your Atal, this FDP program is scheduled. So you started informing FDPs, faculties, PhD scholars that there is a program associated and you can join and you can enjoy, you can learn a lot of things. So you will send the communications accordingly here. When we circulate any program, when we start any program, like let's take an example of SharePoint migrations. What is SharePoint? SharePoint is the repository where files and folders are associated, are kept for any project. We are migrating it from the older version to the newer version. So this kind of things are there. So where I come into the picture. So key focus area are like strategy, process, improvement, operational excellence, and technology enablement. So once we will analyze what we need to change, why we need to change, what's in it for me. Now, next thing is what? Like this is the FDP program, and if you want to if you want to circulate something to the end users or to PhD scholars or somebody like you, so you what you will look into it, what's in it for me, what we will learn out of it, what is for me, what I will get from this. So that kind of things will come into the picture, and slowly we will start engaging with this kind of initiatives, and we will part of this kind of initiative. So this is the and in any IT industry, I am in IT industry since last 16 years now. I started my career with Cognizant, then was in TCS for around 9 years, then Tech Mahindra, and now since last 2 years I was associated with Capgemini Pune Invent. So what is the major focus? Like for you people, maybe the students are the major the role, major play role will be played by students. But for us, clients are important. Who are the clients? Clients may be like a bigger organization like Jaguar Land Rover, or let's say Maruti Suzuki, or let's say Hero MotoCorp, or let's say Merck pharmaceutical industry, or let's say any bank, Lloyd Bank or Morgan Stanley, or any such clients are there, big giants are there. So we deliver our products based on the clients. Then I would like to jump quickly toward OCM side. So OCM is, as I mentioned, it's a people side change, and I'm ProSci certified, and it's a internationally certified program which cost around 2.5 lakhs. So it's a very expensive certification. So it's it's all about people, process, technology, how people will adopt, how people will uh, change the softwares. Recently, what happens? ChatGPT has come. So why everybody is using? Because everybody knows the benefits out of it. Uh, Earlier, the cloud technology was there, so people started understanding what is new here in cloud. Earlier, it was not there. So why cloud is there? So people, process, technology, everything there started understanding. So I would like to explain you like effective management consulting combined with strong OCM is essential for business transformation. Consulting helps shape strategy and improve business process and all those things. So this is all about the basics, what I did, what is actually all about consulting and organizational change management. So let's come directly to the today's point, that is real-time communication tool using AI. So I don't know you people already use this AI companion or not earlier in Zoom meetings. So I am talking here about this AI companion because when I was associated with one of the largest bank of the world, that is HSBC, I was there for 1.5 years as a client. So we what we did, we started working on the pilot project. For pilot project, what we did, uh, we took 800 senior people like MDs, managing director, CEO, CFO, CXO, and super senior leadership people. And we started a pilot project for 1.5 years. Whether this, because in a bank, you know, your money is there in the bank, so it should be very safe. If it is not safe, so you will not keep your money in the bank. So you can understand how stringent, how difficult, how properly everything is kept. So we cannot blindly start using AI in any bank, like we can use in any other organization, but not in bank. There may be some risk associated with that. There may be billions of money in like share market or some uh, retail market, or every kind of various type of banks are there in our day-to-day life. You got to know. So suppose we want to use this AI companion, so we can ask what kind of, what is the topic going on. So I don't know it's working here or not. Um, so this way, Raju sir, is it visible to everybody? Which I'll
Yes,
try.
yes, yes. Yes.
So this is AI companion, and this is the whiteboard which we started in HSBC. So this is my practically I would like to explain you, and post that we will go to a one chatbot implementation in NATEL. So this is what today's agenda is. So what we will understand in Zoom AI Companion is what is Zoom AI Companion, strategic role of AI in meetings, what is this initiative, key AI features in the pilot, how to use, sample prompts to use, benefits and use cases. So basically, if you will see what is Zoom AI Companion, it's a built-in AI assistant within Zoom meeting, helps users with real-time actions, works with natural language prompts. Even it is work in French, German, and Hindi as well. If you will type in Hindi, you will get the answer. This way, this much developed, this is designed to improve meeting efficiency and productivity. Then strategic role of AI in meeting. What is the strategic role? Whenever we people are coming, management consultant or change consultant comes into the picture, why these people are there in any project? Because their motive is to get strategy out of this. How organization can get the benefits, how organization or any specific project can get the revenue out of particular project, because it's a lot of $1 million or $1 billion projects, so they need proper outcome out of it. Organization require that kind of benefit out of it. So for that, shift from passive meetings to AI assisted decision making session. So if you will see earlier what happens, there were passive meetings, but now AI can assist the meetings, and AI is a knowledge retention tool, reduce dependency on note takers. Earlier what happens, we used to keep the notes into any notepad, Outlook, or any Word document or any diary. But now what happens, we can directly get the generated summary out of it. So summary will be generated, and this is the final outcome of the meeting. Suppose somebody is not joined the meeting, he or she can get easily the meeting summary and get the output easily. Then next is supports hybrid or remote workforce productivity. Nowadays, everybody is aware that in IT everything is going hybrid in nature. So it's easily, if you want to work from your village, from your farm, everywhere it is possible. Why it is possible? Because of this kind of AI-based technologies. And Zoom is going very superb in this technology. One of my head of HSBC directly meet with Zoom CEO, and he himself accepted that Zoom is not doing very well in every field, but Zoom AI Companion summary, Zoom AI Companion is the best tool whatever he has discovered yet. So it's really, you can get the benefit out of it now onwards if it is running in your organization or in your universities. Next is it enables parallel tasking without losing context. No context missing, everything is captured, it is very precise. And now you can imagine it, whatever I am talking, it is accepting, it is capturing all the data and providing the data in a proper way. So everything is there. Then it helps reduce time wastage and rework due to missed communication. People are not that much well versed with some, like in a global project what happens, language barrier is there, accent barrier is there. Swedish people is talking in different language, German people is talking is different language, Canadian will are talking in different language. So we will not miss any communication, and we are getting the final outcome of the meeting. AI driven meeting culture promotes data backed conversation. So this way, we are getting the backup, we are getting the data, we are getting the final outcome, and that's why it's a strategic shift in any of the organization by getting the AI companion. This is the AI companion in Zoom, while in the same way, Copilot in the Microsoft field has provided a different facility, and Copilot meeting summary is also started. But as far as my experience is concerned, it is not that good as compared to Zoom AI meeting. So it's really, really a very good tool, as I practically handled this for 1.5 years. Then why this initiative? What are the business needs? So what were the current challenges? Too many meetings, difficult to capture action items. Action items, as I mentioned, accent problem, language barriers, all these things are there. Time wasted in catching up after joining late, and limited productivity, manual note taking. So AI companion solves all the problem, like it saves the time, enhances clarity, improves collaboration, and all those things. Then features enabled in pilot, AI feature questions during meeting. Ask live question to AI within the call and you will get answer instantly. I don't know why this is not working here, but it should work if if I'm writing something, but it is not. Okay. So I think license issue or something like that. So if you will write catch me up, So it will give you the, like somebody is providing right now, good evening everyone, and everyone means somebody is joining right now. But once he will write, catch me up. So AI summary will provide the precise summary, concise summary, and within 10 to 20 lines, you will get the crux of what is going on in the meeting, and you can continue from there. So you will not miss anything. So this is the benefit out of it. And meeting summary, as I have mentioned, action items, you can also put what, suppose some people are there, like they don't want to know the entire meeting. Why they waste their mind to understand everything which is not is their use. So what they can do, they can just ask what are the action items to me, what are the action items to Nikhilesh, what are the action item to Raju sir. So specific action items will be uh, come directly in a bullet points, and this is, here you go. This is all about this. So team structures in any of the project, like project sponsors are there, program manager, team members are there. So it's a collaborative environment. And next, we will come to the live scenario. As I mentioned, if you will join late, you just need to write it like catch me up. You will get all the answers. What action items? List key decisions. You will get the key action item. If suppose you didn't hear properly, you can mention like what did John say about deadline. Suppose deadline is important. You want to know, understand what is your project manager is talking about, what your HOD is talking about. So you will get the answer. Summarize last 5 minutes. Suppose you were in break or you got another call within that, so you can get the summarize on today's call and all those things. So these are the AI summary prompts. Next, go to the use cases by role. Suppose you are project manager, so convert decisions into Jira tasks. Then risk and issue tracking through AI prompt. We can track issues, we can track risk, we can track any kind of issues. AI-based stakeholder alignment, quick reference for timelines and updates. So you will get all those things by for project manager perspective. There are BS perspective, business analyst. Business analyst do what? Business analyst is a person who basically works on requirement validation during call. They can do structure user stories from discussion. User stories means uh, sprint. In a agile framework there are sprints. So in a sprint there is particular user story. User story means the software will run from which stage to which stage and what will be happen over there. Like change request automatically, real time clarification of doubts. So all those things comes under business analyst. Then testing teams are there. Identify testing scope instantly, generate test cases ideas from meeting, request clarification during review calls. So if suppose there is not clarity, so we can request clarification through at the time of review calls as well. Suppose at the time of leadership, CXOs what ask AI, what is the overall team mood based on meeting tone. So leadership can also understand what are the team mood. So see, AI can at what extent AI is now. Quick strategic summary, identify bottleneck across meetings, suggest follow-up meetings and escalation point. So next is measuring AI companion success. To calculate AI companion success, there are key performance indicator. A key performance indicator means, like suppose in my OCM area, let me showcase this as well to you. I'll take only 10 minutes to explain this. Suppose this is the OCM plan. This is the stakeholder matrix. I would like to explain this as well because in any of the strategy project, these all are important. These all play the important role. So if you are using Zoom AI Companion, if you want to uh, play a Zoom AI Companion tool to be started in your project in your organization. Suppose somebody will be from IT industry, so he has to know first of all what all stakeholders associated within this, what are their roles, what are their impacts, influence level, and all those things. Then suppose we need to check whether it is ready or not, everything is ready or not. This is called heat map, which is suppose it's ready, so it will come into the green. partially ready, so it will be yellow in color, and if it is not ready, so we can showcase in red in color. So if you will see, there are various departments, modules in any of the industry. So suppose HR ops is ready with awareness, but process is not ready. So these are things which we need to calculate. Then we will go to the change plan cycle. So as I mentioned, stakeholder metrics, communication plan, calendar, tracker, and all those things comes into the picture when any change plan we actually use. Then we calculate the impact assessment. So as I mentioned, there are 800 users which we find out in HSBC for implementing the Zoom AI companion. Those were directors, associate directors, CEO, CXO level people. So those people basically find out whether this will impact to our organization or not, whether these are high impacted, whether these are low impacted, medium impacted, what are applications will this impact, which module it will impact, whether it is impacted only sponsors, whether it is impacted only security people like IT security or financial security people or all those things. Then what we used to do, we used to prepare change champions. What is change champions? Change champions are like, we OCM consultants are limited, like one in 100 people project, but we assign 10 people as a change champion to spread the word. Like in your organization, HOD is one, but might be two, three people are there who spread the word in the department or in the university that please, we are bringing this change in our organization. So please go ahead. You can do the road show, you can do the news, you can write newsletters, you can prepare brochures and all those. So this comes into the change champion. Then training need framework, training need assessment, communication plan. I would like to brief you impact, communication objective. Key message is very important. If suppose in what is key message, what's in it for me, and which format you are sending it, uh, duration of the duration of the communication and all those things. And these all are things are there. Then migration will come into the picture. RESI chart I would like to explain you. RESI means what? It's responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. There are suppose 100 activities. So who is responsible for what? Who is accountable for what? Who is consulted and who is informed? It looks like a similar words, but there is a huge difference between them. So based on the, like for pre-migration data cleanup, OCM lead is responsible. For migration lead is accountable, not responsible. So he or she will do the task, but who will handle the task? Who is accountable? Means he is the supervisor of the particular task. But we will consult with HR data owner in this way. And this is all. So going back to here. So these are the key performance indicator. Percentage adoption metrics are there, like per number of person in using the software, percentage of person using the AI companion tool. So suppose there are 1,000 people in the organization, and suppose after doing this all campaign, which I have shown in the Excel trigger right now, this is the campaign we can say, from the strategy alignment, stakeholder metrics alignment, to the communication plan, to the adoption KPI metrics. So this is the entire campaign is there. After putting full efforts to this, what we will get? We will get 100% outcome or not? So if suppose 30 people have started using the software or the tool, so our key performance indicator is 30% only. Suppose 300 people started, so the KPI is 30%. In the same way, time saved per meeting, number of participants using AI feature, and all those things. So next I would like to go to, this is the last slide for the Zoom AI companion. Then we'll go to the Zoom whiteboard. Governance and compliance, if you will see, everything should be compliant with banks or the pharmaceutical industry or the manufacturing industry. As an IT consultant, we need to work with any of the industry anytime. There may be the projects for 3 months, 4 months, and then we jump to the another client and all those things. So compliance, data control, retention policy, employee training, AI ethics, everything comes into the picture. So your task is very easy nowadays. You just need to write a prompt to the right way to the AI companion. Here it is. I am showing again who joined late. And you just need to like write, ask me, catch me up. What are my action items? What are kind of questions? Please summarize the meeting. Give me the key bullet points, and you will get it. Next is we'll go to whiteboard now. It's a Zoom whiteboard. Any doubt in a company? So we can take or we'll go to Zoom whiteboard. So in Zoom whiteboard, if you will see,
We are taking questions, Niklesh.
Or at the end we will take.
Okay.
Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? I'm allow participant to share whiteboard. All but host only I am doing. So suppose it's a new whiteboard. I'm trying to open out. Yeah, it's opening. Good. So here is the whiteboard. What happens in the PPT step presentation? I am only presenting the software. I am only presenting the thing, but you people cannot write in that. So for that, suppose your engineering college is there. So if we are doing any project on Zoom whiteboard, suppose, so basically if we are starting some brainstorming session, so I can write it down. We can create tables. We can write it down. Anybody else can write. Anybody else can change the features and all those things. So let's go back to the Zoom whiteboard. So earlier in the offline world, we had a collaboration environment like this. We used to go to office, we used to go to college, and everything is collaborated. But now in the virtual world, after COVID, post COVID, what happens? Everything is virtual. So this kind of problems associated was solved by Zoom kind of organization. And if you will see, it's a collaborative digital canvas within Zoom, can be used before or during after meetings. It supports sticky notes, shapes, comments, image templates. Multiple people can edit simultaneously. So multiple people can edit. In PPT, it is not possible. PowerPoint, it is not possible. But in Zoom whiteboard, here I'm writing something, somebody else is writing something. If you will see here, workflow, you can see here, start, hub. I'll show you in this format. Start, there is a hub, there is a future state, current state, future state, and all those things. Idea is there, somebody is writing. So Zoom whiteboard is unlimited space, no space constraint. We can put sticky notes, we can put shapes, we can put comments, we can put images, we can put templates, and we can use even after meetings, not only during the meetings. So we can save it, we can use reference, we can be used post meetings as well. So what is the current challenges? I mentioned that it's PPTs are static discussions, PPT back and forth is not possible, no real-time visual collaboration. Visual collaboration, suppose we are discussing some brainstorming something, so it's not possible in PPT very easily. No two people can directly the jump into the dashboard and can write. So these are the things. Ideas difficult to capture and hard to track inputs visually. While at the same time, if you will see, it's easy. Real-time collaboration is easy. Sorry. Yeah, easy real-time collaboration, engaging in visual meetings, saves time on brainstorming and smooth knowledge transfer. So in a virtual world, it is really useful tool prepared by Zoom, and it is used in a very large organizations. What are the key features? It's an infinite canvas, no space limitation. We can put sticky notes, as I mentioned. Then templates are there, real-time editing is there, version history is there. We can put comments, and these all things are there. So how to use? As I mentioned, just start, open the whiteboard, collaborate, add sticky notes, save text, share access later, and you can reuse as well. What are the use cases? This is relevant for, however, it is relevant for everywhere, but majorly banking and corporate, it is useful and very useful to take care of. So, like meeting type governance call process use cases process mapping, project planning, timeline and milestone, compliance review. It's very important thing. Risk tracking. Meeting type is client discussion. So idea workshops can be started with this. If you had any doubt in this terminologies, I can explain more, but I think everybody is mature enough to understand all those things. So Scrum stand-ups, like there is a sprint of 14 days. So every day morning when we go to the organization, we will have Scrum stand-ups. So for that, the Kanban is what? Kanban is Gantt chart where the flow is mentioned, like today we are doing this much percentage of task is done. This is the part of this particular user story and all those things. What are the blockers and all those things. And then training or any KT, we can provide the knowledge capture in the virtual environment. So this type of Zoom whiteboard we can see. This is BRD template, business requirement template, or sprint planning template, or Resimetrics. As I showcased you Resimetrics earlier in the Excel tracker. Then organizational structure and stakeholder map, IT architecture flow, project risk register, decision making matrix, cost versus impact, and training workflow. So all these things like business requirement, what kind of business requirements are there? Any RFP, request for proposals are there, request for proposal. So we need to define RFPs for getting any of the project. So that kind of project we will get through RFPs. So at that time we can use the Zoom whiteboard and all those things. So in a conclusion, what I would like to say, Zoom whiteboard is not a tool, it's a thinking style basically. Organizations that think visually move faster, align better, and solve problems sooner. So this is about the theoretical part of Zoom AI Companion through AI. So I would like to showcase to you one tool which I have prepared for which we can use for the companion or chat purpose. So basically, as we understand what we are discussing today, what is the agenda of today's discussion is practically how we can connect, how we can discuss. So basically, if you will see, this is a N10 platform. N10 platform is used for chat purpose. If you will see, I am putting, see at the last bottom. Are you able to see my screen, Raju?
Yes, but nothing is there, right? Like, is there any content?
I think this one. Now,
Not now. Like, just you need to switch the screen. Right.
let me share it again.
Yeah, please.
So basically, where is the content? Okay. Share. So basically, this is the tool. And now I hope it is visible.
Yes.
So this is the tool. What is our today's agenda? We are discussing real-time communication tool using AI. So my objective is not to capture you in a single boat. I'm trying to explain you as much as we can today's session. So as we discussed first that how the change consultant people work, how the management consulting people work in the industry, because it's very niche area. Very less people know about it. Even everybody think about Python, Java, .NET. Nobody think this kind of things are also there in the industry. Even only Capgemini strength is 5 lakhs, 4.5 lakh around worldwide. And how many uh, change consultant are there? Only 100 out of 4.5 lakhs. Only 100 people are there. So this much niche skill, niche means unique skill is this. So I would like to explain that point. Along with that, we understand today Zoom AI companion, then we understand Zoom whiteboard. Now I would like to bring you to the next and final thought of the day. This is uh, so this is Anytime platform where I have prepared this chatbot. This is how GenAI today's chatbot works, and we can integrate it to the WhatsApp as well. That integration I have not done, but how this basically works, you can see this as I have as I have mentioned. Hi, so it is providing the result as welcome to Nikhilesh restaurant. How can I help you today? Like if you want, it is also providing the option like place an order. So great, what's your name? So suppose I am giving name like Raju Sharma. So hi Raju Sharma, what food item would you like to suppose I have written I want pizza. So see here it's working as well in background. So what he is mentioning, sorry, pizza is out of stock, available option, veg thali, chicken thali, mutton thali, fish curry meal, egg curry meal, or something like that. So I want, as I'm also vegetarian, I want veg thali. So see how many veg thali would you like to order? Suppose I have mentioned 3. So veg thali is confirmed, and it will store in the Google Sheet. So let's prepare this from the scratch. I would like to showcase to you. I did it in pretty few months back. Let's try to prepare this now. When you click on N810, it will go to the Google and it will open the editing.io. I don't know what happened to my internet. It's N810.io. It should open. Yeah, it's open. Now we click on get started. Then it's free as well, and if you want you can upgrade the plan and you can use that. So this is the home page, which looks like dashboard, we can say. Click on the plus icon and workflow and click on the personal icon. And this is the page which appears. Click on the first step. Now suppose our objective is to message something. So first of all, we will put like chat. We want to uh, we want to what we say, where is WhatsApp chat trigger. We want to do some chat trigger back to canvas. So here it is a chat message window has come. So whatever we will message here, it should come to where it will go. So we are creating the workflow. Workflow will what we will do, what this workflow will do. This thing we are trying to create, the restaurant chatbot. Then what we want? We want AI agent. So we will go to the plus sign, we'll go to the AI and then AI agent, and then back to canvas. Here is the AI agent. Now, if you will see, now what we need to add it with some or the other AI tool, because we it's a workflow, but it should connect with something like OpenAI, ChatGPT, or Gemini or something like that. Suppose I am connecting it with Gemini. Back to Canvas. So it is connected with Gemini. Then we'll connect uh, Gemini is there. Now let's see what is the response. I'm putting hi there. How can I help you today? Means if you will see, it's a green tea. That means it's running working fine. Otherwise, it will not answer, right? So ChatGPT started working. My Now I'm putting my name is Nikhilesh. Hello Nikhilesh, it's nice to meet you. But the problem is what with this ChatGPT or Gemini, it does not have memory. Now let's try to ask the question again. What is my name? I don't know your name. Why I don't know your name? Because memory is not provided. So memory will be provided by this place. If you will see, we have provided the simple memory over here. Let's go to this place and this simple memory. There are multiple databases. You all are computer science graduate. You are aware that MongoDB, chat memory, and everything is possible. But let's take a simple memory, and I'm putting it like 10 conversation it should remember, and that's it. So back to canvas. And here we have the sample memory. Now I will again tell him, inform the chat that my name is Raju Sharma. Now I will ask again, what is my name? Now see, it is saying your name is Raju Sharma. Earlier, if you will see here, it is not showing what I don't know your name as an I don't have access to personal information about you. You can tell me your name if you would like to refer to you later, something like that. Now we have put the simple memory of 10 conversations. Now it is taking the uh, sample conversation. Now see, we we need to calculate sheet. We need to add sheet inventory and up and row in the sheet. So suppose I have prepared the sheet. So basically, we will create uh, um, inventory. No, it's a Google Sheet basically. We will go to the Google Sheet and we will choose from the list, like it's a food delivery system which I have created the Google Sheet, and from form list it will be inventory. So it's saved and it will go to the back to canvas. So you will see the Google Sheet is created. I will create another inventory, another Google Sheet. This is food delivery system, and this is FAQ. This is FAQ. Back to Canva, because it's a predefined FAQ which is required to, like now I would say I want to order pizza. What it will answer? See, I'm sorry, I cannot order pizza for you. I am a large language model. I am able to communicate it to respond to a wide range of prompts and questions, but I am not able to place order. Is there anything else you need? So it's not completed. Let's create one more Google Sheet, and there where we will save our append data, where the rows will be appended. So for that, we will go to here. We will go to Google Sheet. We will add the Google Sheet. Document will be same food delivery, and the tab or sheet will be orders. And we will go to the back to canvas. Where is the sheet? Okay. So this way we can create the, I just wanted to showcase you this way it works. So hi, this way the chatbot works basically. My name is Nichilesh. What is your restaurant name? So this way it works basically. I'm saving this. Let's go to this one. And if you will integrate this, for this you need a Facebook access, Meta access, Meta software business model. Just you need a Facebook login ID and Facebook business page. You can go and you can connect this with WhatsApp chatbot as well. So I'm not going to the WhatsApp mode because let's keep it web based only. So let's see, like I want to order pizza. What we try? Something is wrong. Something is wrong. How many veg thali would you like to order? It's three. So it's taking three orders. Your order for veg thali 3 is confirmed. Now we can see it in we can see it in our Excel Google Sheet. Hopefully it should have. Let's see. So here it is, food delivery system. So we have created and created these three inventory. These are the inventory. These are the orders. We can see the orders have been added. We can see and see here are the FAQ questions. So it's taking the order, it's taking the questions and everything. So it's working. So this way we can create the Google AI. We can this is the one thing which I have showcased to you. There are chat messages there. There are other options are also there. So you can create based out of any other workflow. Like suppose here we will go. There are other way to trigger manually. If you want to schedule anything, like if you are a YouTube video creator, if you want to schedule a upload of video, so every day you can upload hourly, you can upload custom, you can upload. You can on chat message the particular run. So we are selecting this one, and there are other ways around. So this way we can start uh, preparing the software. So I think these all are things which I would like to mainly cover for today's session. I am happy to answer the questions and answers whatever we did.
So audience, if you have any question, please ask about. Yes, questions can be written in chat box also. So if you are thinking about any question, please write in the chat box.
There is a question on Ajay Shivhare sir from SRIIT. Share your valuable take statement on how user voice data is protected during real-time AI processing and what best practices are used for deploying low latency AI communication models on cloud platform. Yeah, so that is why, sir, the thing is, I was associated with the pilot project where 1.5 years in HSBC, and it's very strict to for any point. It's very strict. Data are very informative and sensitive for any bank, and it's a HSBC, so it's a global bank. So what happens? We cannot process any data. So that's what all things was compliance is there. So there was a compliance team. So it's the task of the compliance team to handle or tackle such kind of things. So we usually what we used to do in the pilot project. Pilot means what? Only 800 associate out of 2-3 lakh people. So uh, see, all these people started providing the questions, providing various kind of data and all those things. So basically, this we capture through compliance team, and compliance team go to the Zoom team, and Zoom team provide the solutions on this. So it's a huge technical deep insight. Everything is there. So based on all those things, this is possible. It is not simple say ki it will be done by so and so. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So one more question is written here. How can generative AI improve accessibility features such as speech to text for people with hearing or speech disabilities?
How can generative AI improve accessibility features such as speech to text for people with hearing or speech disabilities? I think, yeah. So this is the thing which is talking. See, everything is possible with writing, which is we are doing since last 20 years. Now, speech to text is directly for the speech purpose, not for the disabled people. If they want to write something, they need to write. Or speech is the word is for talkative people, right? It's not possible how. And for hearing purpose, we can easily like voice call is there in we are sending some voice command to the particular tool or something like that. So hearing is possible, but speech talk is not possible. The next question is, what are the major privacy and security challenges when generative AI processes live audio and video conversations? Yeah. So what are the major privacy and security challenges? Lot of privacy and security challenges are there. That's why I emphasize many times that it is not blindly implemented in any of the organization. For that, they have provided a lot of scrutiny, and based on that, like, yeah, I remember one scenario. Let's suppose there are 5 lakh people in any organization, and suppose 50,000 are highly secure people. So in that possibilities, there is no they will not uh, introduce this functionality in that particular department until unless it is fully safe. They will not involve it. If suppose your money is on risk, they will not start involving that kind of feature in that particular department. How do agentic AI system decide when to use external tool APIs or research resources during task execution? How do agentic AI system decide when to use external tools, APIs or search resources? So uh, basically, agentic AI is what? We program agentic AI by our own way. Suppose it's a share market tool. Suppose that we are doing the trading, automatic trading. So we are providing him which tool to use, which not to use. Suppose it's a chat bot for the restaurant. So we are providing them which kind of APIs, which kind of agent are actually required. Which framework is currently the most effective for building robust and agentic AI system? Which framework is currently the most effective for building robust agentic AI system? Sorry, I'm not a developer, Dr. Anju. So I'm not the right person. I'm a consultant. So I am not the right person to answer this question. How can agentic AI be applied in educational institution for automation and personalized learning? How can agentic AI be applied in educational institutes? Yes. So, like as I mentioned, it's a trading agentic AI, it's a chatbot agentic AI. It may be anything. So, based out of this, we can start preparing the course materials in particular engineering classes. Particular, suppose the subject is like digital signal processing (DSP). So, you can start feeding the data to particular agentic AI, and it will start answering your questions for DSP. It will start answering your questions for data structure. It will start answering your questions for Java. And that way, you can start personalized learning. In OCM, what is our timeline for implementing the change, and we'll do it in phases? In OCM, what is our timeline for implementing the change, and we'll do it in phases? OCM is not deciding the timeline. It may be a year-long project. It may be a 2-month project. So it all depends on the project to project. So it all depends. So it's not like that. Uh, there is no specific timeline, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So audience, any more thing? Yes.
Yeah, there is one more question. How can we evaluate the reliability and transparency of actions taken autonomously by AI agents? Yeah, so this is the place which is still in on radar. We cannot rely on agentic AIs right now, and we should not basically. Everything should be decided, because in larger organizations, in a small things firms, it started they started working, and they started using whatever comes into the on track. But in a bigger organization, the entire process is very lengthy, but it is very safe always. That's why they are very big. They are billionaires company. Their revenues are like 10 billion, 15 billion, 20 billion dollars. So I think we should not rely, because agentic AIs are not up to the mark as of now.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And I think most of the questions are already solved here. But if anybody wants to, then
Yeah,
other.
anytime. Definitely.
Okay. Hope so. All are done.
Yes.
So this way, I would like to conclude this that session was really tremendous, and thank you, sir, for your deep session on the practical applications of generative AI. Now I invite Professor Dr. VP Mudgal to propose vote of thanks. Mudgal, sir.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this highly insightful session. Good evening to everyone. On behalf of organizing committee, I, Dr. BP Mudgal, extended our sincere gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Nikhilesh Rao, Manager, Capgemini Pune, India. First and foremost, I express my sincere thanks to our respected speaker, Mr. Nikhilesh ji, who shared valuable insights on how generative AI is transforming communication, making conversation faster, smarter, and more interactive in real time. Sir, your examples, explanations, and forward looking perspectives have truly broadened our understanding of this emerging technology. Finally, a big thank you to all the participants for your active presence and thoughtful interaction. Thank you once again, Mr. Nikhilesh ji. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
So
sir.
we sincerely thank you, Mr. Nicholas Babu, for delivering a wonderful and highly interactive session. Your expertise definitely added a great value to our program. Thank you, Nicholas.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Raju,
sir.
sir. Thank you very much.
Participants, already feedback is shared in the chat box. Please fill it now or submit it by tonight. As we know, it is mandatory for all the participants to submit feedback for the attendance purpose. That's why don't miss it, and without failure, fill it. It is requested to all the participants also to stay online, since our next session is going to start soon.
Yes, of course, we are starting our next session very soon. So be connected.
Okay, I think Ram sir is here.
Yes, yes, yes. Good
Online.
evening, Ram sir.
Hello, sir. How are you?
And
My name is
welcome, sir.
Dr.
Thank you.
Ramkumar Singh.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm fine, sir.
Good evening, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, I'm ready to start.
Okay, so I invite you. All right. Participants, good evening once again. And now we will proceed for our next session. I invite Mr. Ram Kumar Singh, Senior Consultant, Center of Excellence for Sustainable Land Management, ICFRE, Dehradun, to deliver his talk on integrated spatial land use planning for the West Asia country, Armenia. Dr. Ram Kumar Singh is a geospatial and land use planning expert with over 17 years of experience in GIS, remote sensing, spatial modeling. He is currently serving as the land use planning expert for the GEF UNDP project in Armenia and previously led India's UNCCD National Report 2022 on land degradation using advanced geospatial analytics. His professional background includes consulting for Reliance Jio on enterprise Oracle spatial systems and over 13 years of technical leadership at Hexagon Geospatial India. He has taught extensively as faculty at the Forest Research Institute and as adjunct faculty at IIT Roorkee. In addition to training IFS officers at IGNF-FA, his expertise expands Python, R, SQL, ERDS, Imagine, Google Earth Engine, and AI/ML application in agriculture, forestry, and hydrology. He has been invited as a resource person for numerous international and national workshops supported by UNCCD, UNDP, ICFRE, ISRO, and DST. He holds a PhD in Natural Resource Management, a master degree in Geoinformatics, and a bachelor degree in Electronics and Instrumentation. Now it's time to hear from our eminent speaker, Mr. Ram Kumar ji. The spotlight is yours, sir. Please.
Oh, thanks for your nice introduction, sir. Shall I share my screen?
Yes, sir. Please.
My screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
So I just minimize other things. Good evening to everyone. I just seen the last session also. It's a very practical event and even impacted by the last speaker, renowned speaker from Capgemini manager. So this is all about how we can able to use the integrated spatial planning for land use part of it. So my background, I just let you know what we are doing it right now with the conventions like will are working conventions and policies will are following it international or national. During the COP 14 in India, Honorable Prime Minister announced our center, International Center for Excellence on Sustainable Land Management. And from that, Wheeler started functioning to identify the land degradation in part of India. And also Wheeler providing the support to other South global countries and other countries as well. So with this, all the remarks, we are ready to provide an impact on world maps and our centers working in this part of it. So this study is all across the how we are working with the other countries like, and one good example which I presented to UNDP and other countries right with their work progress. So that I like to present in front of you. So integrated, every time it is in a very big word. I just integrated means hold the data, whole the systems, how we can able to integrate the multiple data set or multiple platforms of information together for doing some kind of activity related to the land. So this all about my presentation. So that is integrated spatial land use planning, which is called as SLOPE, integrated part of it. So what is SLOPE? So how we can able to manage the land with integrated system, how we can able to use multiple times. For example, one piece of land, one part of land, which is very public land or which is very common areas, we can able to utilize for multiple purpose, daytime something else, nighttime something else. So that is how we can able to integrate, how we can able to plan. This is all about that presentation. So we need to act responsibly for our land, how to utilize it, and how we can able to use for our sustainable future. When we are talking about in sustainable futures means the definition by the UN, United Nations, we need to exploit that much of land so our future generations can able to survive with part of land, part of natural resources that is left with them. So that is sustainability. People talk about the sustainability. I like to define that particular how we can able to understand about the sustainability. So land provide habitat for humans, wildlife, and many other plants and species also. So we need to understand it. If it is balance is not there, if it is one part is large, human anthropogenic activities are much more in an urban areas, but other part of it is very less, then we need to understand it how we can able to make it balance of this particular diverse nature, diverse wildlife, plant species to balance all across. So that is also a part of it. Land ecosystem for food security, biodiversity preservation is must as well. The land plays a critical role for water cycle regulation. So this project is also for in particular Sivan Lake in other countries in the Republic of Armenia, West Asia. So they are finding it out. The water source are changing. The quality is changing due to the surrounding anthropogenic activities or changes in land dynamics in that particular region. So for this particular UNDP started a project for the country, and I'm as a consultant working with them. So next part of it, what is planning? Right now we are talking about an integrated system, integrated land use, but we need to plan it for how we can able to use for regional land use planning, integrated planning, territorial planning, urban planning, spatial planning, many kind of plannings what we are thinking about, how we can able to integrate each other to make the purpose solve for everyone and win-win for everyone, and we can solve the sustainability goals as well. So the FAO 1993 also defined this particular word, ILUP, integrated land use planning. So systematic assessment of land, water potentials, alternatives, land use, socioeconomic condition to select and adopt the best land use options. How we can able to utilize with the best options that particular part of land or land parcels. In another words, we also call it as an land tenure. How we understand it, how we can able to say in various regional areas like one pattas or a particular part of land which is provided in fee for utilizing that particular part, and people are using it, and after changing the resources, after changing the land use for a particular time period, that is called as a part of land or land tenure, how it is utilized for a time being. So that is also, it is part of that ILUP, how we can able to utilize it. That is act with innovations that we want to do it by using ILUP. So this is again, it's in climate irrigations, rise in temperature is there, act now or never. In year 1990s, we are finding it at the bottom. I'm not able to look into my screen, so some Zoom meeting links are coming. Right now I can able to minimize it. So during 1990s, this is the temperature is there, 0 or -1 or around above 0. So, but anyhow, it is less than 1 degree in every part of the land, every part of globe. But right now it is the condition in 2020 that 2 degree or 2.5 degree above we achieved a temperature rise, and due to the GHG emissions and all. So right now the country India, the temperature which is hovering around the 0 to -1, but right now we are finding it out the temperature above 1 degree or 2.5 degree, or this is the same rise in all across the world as well. So this is due to the temperature rise or due to the GHG emissions. We are finding it out the temperature rise in every part of the world. So that is the scenario right now, and maybe it is continuous if we are not. It is also continuous in the part of future. The climate irradiation in the part of a country level. So that is the precipitations which is changing, or in particular month we are finding it out too much of precipitation in year 2018 or current year, but earlier it isn't evenly, moreover evenly, which is there in the part of monsoon season or other part of the season as well. So the status of uh, desertification all across the globe. So land degradation, more than 40% of the land is already degraded as per UNCCD, and over 90% of the land by 2050. So with the land is degraded, the land productivity, what we are assuming it, which is also going to be get decreased in that particular ratios, and we not able to get the food or we maintain ourselves on the earth surface. So what we need to do it, we need to think about it. Once again, the crop yield, we are talking about the agricultural acreages and outputs by 2050, which is going to be get dropped and average by 10% globally. In our country, we are the agrarian nations. Our GDPs are also dependent upon the agricultural outputs and product outputs more than 15%. So we also need to think about it. That country is also dependent upon more than 10% or 12%, but it is going to be get decreased as by 2050 or in the declining trend. The displacement of the people is again, it's a big challenge in many countries or many developing countries, like up to 700 million people got displaced by 2050. We are coming to in particular areas like in cities where we get in jobs or in economic values more than in particular rural areas. So people like to displace from village to cities or metro cities for their economic activities. So biodiversity loss, once again, if I'm talking about biodiversities, the habitat transforming and degrading and leading causes and biodiversity loss, which could reach by 40% and above by 2050. The greenhouse loss and loss of 231 million and gain of 130 million hectare areas. So overall, we are finding it out with this particular statement. The green cover, vegetations, forestry, or whatever the natural vegetations we are talking about, which is in declining trend. And for the current status, we are finding it out the globally 230 million hectare, which is lost or degraded, but in against it 130 millions or 131 million hectares which is get restored or converted into an what is called as in bright spots or improved land cover. So green commissions, if we are talking about between 2000 2009 annual emissions for the land degradation, which is 3.6 to 4 billion tons by CO2 equivalents. The emission which is going to be get increases. GHG emissions are in rise and also going to be get increase in the increase in upcoming years. So that is again, it's a major issues. If the GHG emissions are on the rise, then we are finding it out the rise in temperature, climate irradiations, precipitations are decreasing, or a flashy period we are finding it out as comparison to a normal period in rainy season. So that is all across with the human activities. World Atlas of Desertification says human activities is the prime cause. Anthropogenic activities is the main cause for that particular all degradation all across the globe, or not in particular country, all across the globe. And some part of the underdeveloping areas or undeveloped areas, that is more in rise, that is emissions and degradation of land which is there. So that is a beautiful photograph, I just created it. And we need to act decisively in the part of it. So national statistics for that particular country, which is not very useful for us, but I just added it. More than 33% or 12% of forest and 4.7% of total geographic area in that particular country, Armenia. 8% of forest-based carbon emissions are removal. So more than 8% of carbon emission, forest carbon stored carbon in the part of forest which is get removed due to the cut down or layover at that particular forest. That 63% of populations are in urban or maybe in rising in trend, but the less of the population in rural area. This is also get followed more over the same trend in our India country as well. So this 19% of AFLU greenhouse gases emissions means agriculture, forestry, and other land use greenhouse gas emissions are more than 19%. So 18% of that particular country's GDPs are coming from agriculture. But this is also in declining trend, how we are going to maintain it. So drought affected area, more than 30% of drought affected areas are there in that particular country. So that is more over in the statistics for a part of that particular country. And we need to understand it. If it is rising, then we need to control how we can able to take in measures to restore that particular part of land. We are understanding it. So how the spatial data, remote sensing data, it is useful for assessing this particular land degradations. And then part of the mitigation is all about in the part of my presentation. So that is, we are moving towards the conventions and policies are very important. We need to understand it a bit. So the first is Triple C. I just remember it in such a way like in UN Framework Convention for Climate Change, which is called as UNFCCC. Land degradation contributes to climate adaptation, how the climate is changing, all about the climate. It is the policies they are framing it, and we need to understand how we can able to mitigate that particular climatic effects. Like, so by maintaining the land productivity, carbon sequestration is a big word, and you have the confusion about the carbon sequestration, how we can able to store the carbon in part of our vegetations, forestry from atmosphere, that is called as carbon sequestration. And it is also get stored in other part like sea or other part of the land as well. But it is in the natural process, it is in the form of forest or in the form of plant. We can sequester it, we can able to absorb it from the atmospheres, and we store it in the part of that particular tree or biomass. So that is, we want to do it, and that particular convention is UNFCCC. CBD is the convention. CBD is called the second convention. I take it in spite of first convention, that is third one, sorry. The Convention of Biological Diversity, biological diversity, promotes biodiversity by promoting the restoring the ecosystems and part of our land. And at the top of it is the latest one, which is called as CC, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertifications. Desertifications, it's not mean the deserts, it comes near to our land, but the biological activities in that particular part of land is becomes a null or zero, where nothing we can able to produce it, not any kind of productivity we can able to assume it. That is also a state of desertification. So that is how we can able to identify degradation, that the slowly it is continuous for a longer period, then it is called as in desert area. It's not like in sand or not like in river areas like sand, it is coming to a part of land, but the biological activities are zero, then we identified it, or remain is it called as a desertified area. Or slowly from the degraded land it becomes a desert area. So that we want to report it. Our mandate is there to assess that particular degradations or desertification part of it in our part of country or other countries. We need to support it, and on the basis of this we are reporting to ministries how to mitigate this particular challenges, and further to the UN countries, they can also able to provide the measures or support in that particular part of land. So that is all about the conventions, act, policies, and conventions. So the land degradation, the next slide is about the land degradation. Why does it matters? With the SDG goals, it is linked to the SDG goal 15 or 15.3.1 exactly, to protect and restore the promote the sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem. Sustainable, again, I talk about the sustainability, what is, and manage the forest, combat desertifications, how we can able to mitigate, how we can able to fight against that particular degradation and desertifications, to halt that particular process, and slowly we can able to think about to how to restore, how to reverse that particular process to restore degraded land and biodiversity losses in part of areas. So that is all about the land degradations, which is linked with the SDG 15s and other SDG goals. We are aware about all the SDG goals. It is there further in my slide as well. So again, it's in one more concept. It is coming into the part of it, which is called as land degradation neutrality. I hope my voice is audible to you all. Land degradation neutrality is it's a status. If we are degrading a particular part of land, the another part of land which is also going to be get improved in such a manner to balance that particular part of it to reach that neutrality goals, land degradation neutrality concept comes into the picture. So the state amount of quality of land resources necessary to support the ecosystem functions and services, enhance the food security, stables increasing. So that is a definition by UNCCD COP. COP means Conference of Party during 12th conference in year 2015. So that is it's a big word, which is LDN, land degradation neutrality, and how we can able to achieve it, that we need to understand it. How the spatial data, it can able to help in finding it out what we degraded or what we improved in the part of our land or that particular parcels. So that is, we are talking about the national voluntary targets for LDN is, again, it's a triangle like situation is there. We need not can able to reverse it automatically, that particular process. Whatever the activities we are going to do, it is not going to get to stop it in the next day, but slowly we need to think about it, what we can able to restore it, what we can able to halt it, what we can able to reclaim it, and slowly in this process continues for a longer period, then we says the degradation part is get reversed, and that is the concept of LDN altogether. So by 2050, the carbon stocks will be recovered and increased by 1.5% in reference to 2015. As per the country statistics, they have a particular targets, voluntary targets, how much we can able to achieve it. In the same way, for the bond challenge, our Honorable Prime Minister is taken a challenge to restore 26 million hectares of land by 2030. And as per the government statistics, maximum part of the land, degraded land, we already restored it, and next part of it in the process before we are likely to be achieved by 2030. So that kind of challenges are there. Voluntary targets we are taking it. Example, my children are also taking a target to take in good marks in their test or examinations. So we need to act it before to that particular achievements. Otherwise, it's only a part of it. We are providing the words, but we're not able to achieve it. It's a very same for us. So we need to act accordingly, act logically, how we can able to achieve it. So that is again the spatial components. What is the component part of it? What we can able to use? How we can able to use the part of GIS data set, remote sensing data set, satellite data set, and other means of data set to improve that particular conditions. So that is definitely it is an integration of integrated part of a spatial land use planning along with the management part of that particular land. It's very much important, and it becomes a twin for us. If it is from right hand, so next hand is the left hand, we need to manage it together to make it as a balance between all the land part of it with the planning, with the integrated approach, with all these data sets. So that is act spatially. Challenges. So it is in figure. I taken it from UNCCD document. FAO document, Integrated Land Use Planning. It is given by the FAO in year 2018. That reports provided us how we can able to achieve that particular integrated with the integrated managements. So agriculture carbon sequestrations, they given the many words, many statement about its sustainable best practices. So for the sustainable best practices on the land, I'm just referring it WOCAT, World Organizations for Best Practices. It is there. listed down all the best practices all across the world, how we can able to restore that particular part of land, how we can able to improve the productivity that particular part of land. So that particular practices are listed on WOCAT website. Try to go into that particular website, search for Indian part of it. We listed few, and other countries or developed countries listed many practices in that particular region, how they started, what they used it, how they achieved it, what is the time period and the funding. All these details are there on the WOCAT. That particular practices we also utilize in as per the climatic regions, as per the conditions of our land or climates. Based on this with practices, we choose it and we can improve our land based on that particular practices or best practices. The pastures and green grassland intensifications. In other countries, pasture and grassland intensification is very much required. The basic difference between the pasture and grassland is pasture, which is consumed every year, which is cutted down by our the livestock or animals. But it's a grassland, it's a part of land where the grasses are there more than for many years and having the height above 2.5 half feet of height. That is a grassland. That is a basic difference between part of it. And the grassland is the main component which stores the carbon or stores a soil organic carbon or productivity, and it remains for a longer period. But the pasture lands, it grows every year. Every time my livestock or we are cutting it down to that is called as a pasture land. The basic difference, we need to maintain that particular pastures or grassland to make it balance in our land surface. Community banks for seeds and tools for increasing the agriculture productivities. Agroforestry facilities along with the corners, along with the path of our agricultural land, we can able to plant it the small trees. It can maintains from many climatic irrigations, and where we maintains our agricultural crops and productivity. Along with that, particular trees are also absorbing that carbon or maintaining the carbon storage in their part of it. So in Saharanpur, I find it out the many practices. If you go to a part of UP or Saharanpur part of it, you find it out along with the road. We are finding it out the many trees, small trees are there, which is cutting down every year for their economic activities, and they are also protecting their land during the crop acreage period from any particular what is called as a climate irrigations. So that is with these challenges, we are trying to move forward. This is written in the part of FAO 2018 in more details part of it. I also written a particular what is called as a report for that particular country. It is more than that. That is the report from FAO, and that is used by the many countries in other Asian countries right now. So strategic objectives for national land degradation reportings will have the mandate to report that particular land degradation, but inside it many objectives are there, sub objectives are there. We call it as a strategic objective 1 to 5. So with the decision COP13, Conference of Party 13 UNCCT adopted a new method to how we can able to report it, what all the indicators, how all the method is there. If it is the methods are consistent, same kind of data set or indicators, we are using it from remote sensing or GIS platform. So other countries data set also we get masked and and we says how much of the land is degraded and what is the how much of the areas are improved in that particular part of it. That is called as bright spot. Improved part is called as bright spot. Degraded part is called as hot spots. It's a wording given by the UNCCT. We are also following it, that particular wording in my presentations or in my conversations. So that is strategic objective 1. We need to understand it. What is the affected ecosystem, combat desertifications to promote SLM, sustainable land management practices, to contribute to that particular neutrality part of it, land degradation neutrality. So it is all across the spatial data, different kind of indicators like a land productivity, land cover change, productivity change, soil organic carbon change, and other indicators together we are assessing, identify a part of land which is degraded or improved in part of their in that particular area. Second, improving the living conditions of affected people with the drought or degradations or desertifications. How much we are doing the activities to improve the life of that particular peoples in that particular surrounding areas. So again, that particular objectives. So maintain ourselves as a sustainable life on land surface. Third part of it, again, it's a mitigations, adaptations, how we can able to adapt in particular new strategy, new policies, and to improve that particular, to overcome that particular challenge, manage the effect of drought, enhance resilience, vulnerable populations and ecosystems. Again, it's very difficult to assess it. We are doing it by using the means of various statistics data sets and reporting it to part of that particular objectives. The objective number 4, which is called as strategic objective 4, generating global environment benefits through the effective implementation of UNCCDs. We are talking about in that particular objectives about the whole species, the risk of extinction of that particular species or a particular endangered species. We are also talking about it. We are reporting it in that particular part of it. And after assessing the prime species, we are providing the total RLI risk of extinction and reporting to that particular part of that particular objective. Risk of extinction means how much it's a risk is there on surviving on that particular land surface. That is all across we are talking about. For a particular species, which is wild animal, which is there in plant species, major species, we are reporting it in that particular part of it. With the help of IUCNs, we are doing it. IUCN dataset, wildlife datasets, and other governmental dataset, we are using it to report that particular objective. Then the fifth objective, strategic objective 5, how much of the fund we are allocating to improve that particular situations, mitigate that particular situations, and in futures we can able to be get adapted to that particular change, or we not need any kind of support for coming or improving that particular land part of it. So that is a very big word is there for a strategic objective 5. But the first 1 to 4, it is all about assessing and data set, assessing the spatial data set, remote sensing data sets, statistical data sets for about the species, about the wild animals, and risk of extinctions. Again, it's a big part of it. So this all are assessing it, and every twice in years we are reporting for part of our countries, and also debating in part of it. And further, after this identifying that particular part of land, we are also talking about how we can able to mitigate it, what all the best practices we are using it to improve that particular part of land to achieve that particular bond challenge or different challenges related to the carbon sequestrations or increasing improving the land conditions. So that is the reporting on a particular platform which is called as a performance review assessment implementation system, PRICE 4, and it is get improved to PRICE 4 by next year web portal, on a web portal. So that is all across our SDG goals. So for the land resources, if we are talking about, if the land resources are changing, then the SDG goal number 1, 2, 3, and 6, which is also degrading, means poverty, which is going to be getting increased, hungers are increasing, and no have the people have the food to get the family for their food, their children's with the food, and good health and well-beings. Again, it's a different story. The land are degrading, resources are not available proper, then health are also get impacted for animals, species, definitely for the human being as well. Clean water and sanitation, again, it's a big issue. The climate change, climate eradications, we are also talking about affordable clean energy, climate actions are required to maintain it. Biodiversities, SDG goal number 12, for responsible consumptions and productions. Life below the waters, 14 number, 15 number, life on land, we already discussed in the prime part of my presentation. Social and gender justices, quality educations, required inequalities, 16 number, peace and justice. We are talking about with the social and gender part of it. So if the land is not proper, land degradation is happening, then this all the issues directly or indirectly comes into the part of issues. We need to maintain it, and on the land is there, then we are talking about how we can able to improve our conditions and talk about the future days as well. The policies and research, we need to play it, we need to follow it, and making our new policies to get into the land part of it. So decent work and economic growth, industry innovations, number 9. I'm not able to see it. Some tag is coming from the, yeah, industry innovations and infrastructure. 11 number for sustainable cities and communities as well. 17s for partnership for the goals. We are also talking about the partnership with the various agencies, nationally and international agencies, to maintain that particular practices, what you are doing it, how you are maintaining that particular convention and policy in your regions. So with these practices, we are moving forward to talk about how we assess it. UN City price workflows, how we assess it, what is the data set, what all the data set we are using as an indicator for identifying the land degradations, assessing the proportion of land from the baseline period which is get changed or degraded. So every time we are finding it out the change in comparison to the older data set or data set. On the basis of baseline data set, how much will are improved, or in good or bad situations, we can able to judge it, and we are identifying it, we can able to market that particular areas. If we are talking about a bigger region like in India, then we need to mark it, we need to report it to the state agencies, this particular part of forest, this particular part of agriculture or water which is changing continuously, or maybe in the features the sustainability issues comes up. So that particular part we need to report it and we need to assess it. This is some kind of flow diagram we need to make it every time, how we are assessing it, what we are doing it, how we are finding it out. That is in brief part of it, I added it. So that is act systematically. So that is workflow, that is all across the system. I am following it, or my team is following it to maintain or identifying that particular data sets. The degradation part of it indicated by using strategic objective 1. What all the methods are there? Let's see. So any queries if you have, also you can able to ask me in between, or I can at the last also you have the chance to ask once again. So that is all across the data we are using it, finding it out, the degradation, land degradation in the total land area. So that is first I'm taking it what is called as land cover change in current period from last 3 or 4 years, or during the baseline period which is changing. It is in more rapid pace. We are identifying it. Land is changing in more rapidly as comparison to last 15 years or last 20 years. But right now in the last 4 years, what is get changed, it is much more in higher in pace. We need to identify it. And after comparing both baseline and current period, we are finding it out an area which is changed in terms of land cover. So that is one part of it. The center which is written as a land cover, it is land cover change. Or second is productivity. We are talking about the productivity. We are assessing it by using indices method, normalized difference vegetation index. We are finding it out how much it is a change, or on the basis of state or performance, we are finding it out what all the productivity change between the current period in last 4 years, or in comparison to last 20 years and 4 years, what is the productivity conditions are there. This also we need to report it, or in form of map, or in form of data set as well. Data set statistical attributes like. So that is a second indicator I taken it as. The third one, again, it says soil carbon. If the carbon is there, condition of soil is good, anything we can able to the productivity we can able to improve it. So that part of the soil assessment we are doing it, or we are taking the data sets for a particular the international agencies or national agencies to find it out what is the soil organic carbons in that particular unit area of soil. different part of it also we are measuring it nowadays in the lab. We are finding it out what is the carbon content into the part of that particular soil, and on the basis of this all three judgment or changes we are identifying it the portion of land degradation in that particular area. So if any particular the indicator is negative or it is in degradation conditions, all other conditions are taken into the considerations. So and conditions are there. If any part of is negative is there, degradation is happening in that particular part of land cover in terms of productivity, in terms of land cover change or vegetation change or soil organic carbon change, we are finding it out that particular part of portion of land is degraded, and we need to mark it. We need to identify it in the form of GIS, and we are finding it out how much of the area is there that is degraded. Or in the map, we are providing it that particular information to the other state people to verify it is happening it there or is there some different conditions. So that is also called it as a 1OAO approach. It's a very big name. It's in the part of the good practices of UNCCD and Jeff, what is called as a green Jeff, the green environment fund, Jeff it is called as. So that is also reporting it that particular method, what is called as a 1OAO, one out, all out approach it is called as. So next part of it, how the transitions we are mapping it out. Transitions means one particular part of land, how it changed to another part of land, what we are making it into the contingency matrix slice. Even comparing the one part of land to another part of land, we are comparing it between the baseline and the current period. We are finding it out this much of the land is degraded where the red color is there. Example, where the tree is there, tree covered area is there in part of forest or tree outside the forest, but which is get migrated to a particular cropland, grassland, wetland, or any particular part of other lands, that is called as a degradation, which is considered as a degradations. So in the same way for the cropland, remains in the croplands, it's very good, but if it is get changed to wetland, what is called as artificial lands means in an urban area, and other land that is treated as a degraded part of it. The wetland, moreover, it is the changing, then we are not assessing that particular wetland moreover right now, right as of now. But the artificial land, like in urban area, which is comes into an cropland or grassland, that is also treated as an improved part of it, but it is not really happening actually. If any particular building it is get demolished, again it's a building, it will come up, but anyhow it is not going to be get changed into an forest land or agriculture land or grassland or some other land covers. So that is a trend in the part of our Indian countries or urban areas like. So other part of land also in the same way. So water body, we are also not assessing it as of now for the reporting purpose. But anyhow, where we are finding it out, any part of land which is coming into a tree cover or cropland or grassland, generally it is treated as an improved part of land. Definitions, maybe we can change it as per our requirement, as per our understandings, and on the basis of this we are assessing it. So it's a very difficult sometimes if you are handling a large part of data set, and sometimes the systems also the decisions also and systems also taking a long time to complete that particular part of reporting. Generally by our team people, 1 year we are assessing it to find it out the land degradation or desertification part of it, and the next year across the whole 1 year we are doing the verifications on the ground or different means of data set to find it out that what we are reporting it, is it correct or it's some kind of false impressions are there into the part of it. So with the help of state ministries or different teams we are doing it. So again it's in transitions, like again it's in form of a particular diagram. I'm just showing it across from 1 to 15. It's in during the baseline period, what is the transitions are there, what is the criteria. If it is changing from tree cover to urban area, then artificial land or urban areas, then it is a degraded. But if it is any particular cropland which is converted into an agroforestry or forest part of it, then we call it as it's an improved land. In the same way, for the grassland have some kind of ambiguity, but with our understanding right now, the grassland is coming into a cropland. So right now it is also called as a degraded part of it. So the potential land of degradations, we are identifying it, and with the basis of land cover change. Land is changing, land cover changing, one class to another class. If it is get migrated, and with our transition matrix, with our understanding, we find it out that is a potential land of degradations, but not it isn't complete degraded. Other two indicators, definitely we need to assess it, finding it out that particular part of land is degraded or not. So we are using it, what is called as spatial models or trend.earth, which is there into the QGIS part of it, for assessing this whole data part of it. And we also created a spatial model and tool part of it to use it in the different platforms like PY, Python, and PY and different part of it. So that is we are doing it for the land cover change. So right now, this is the land cover examples, what we are getting an output, which is for year 2000, 2005, 10 and 15, and maybe for 2024. So that we are finding it out. And this is land cover, but the change, we need to identify it on the basis of transition matrix. And that change, what is called as, that is a potential degraded land, or how we can able to treat it in part of the matching with the other indicators. Act spatially. Land productivity is the biological productivity capacity of land. That is the productivity capacity of land, the source of all food, fiber, fuel to sustain humans. So that is assessing by using an NDVI, what is a net primary productivity in that particular part of land. So we are assessing it, what is the trend in that particular part of in terms of NDVI during the long-term trend state. Compares the current productivity, compares the current productivity performance, indicates a level of local productivity compared with same other areas having the same conditions or same kind of covers are there. On the basis of sub indicators, we are understanding it that productivity of that particular land or part of land which is improving or changing in other directions. So that is called as a land productivity. Biological terms, if it is have the capability to produce it, then we say it's an improved land. If it is in same condition, we say it is an stable productivity. If it is in declining trend, that is called as a degradation part of land productivity. So that is, again, it's in, based on NDVI data sets or other means of data set. We are understanding it that particular land productivity is increasing or decreasing or remains stable for that particular period. So that is one particular map for that particular country, Republic of Armenia. That productivity isn't increasing in that particular green part of it. Other parts are stable, stress, declining, or moderately declined. So we are assessing it, and on the basis of this dynamic, we are taking to the third indicators, which is called as soil organic carbon. The first is land cover change. Second is what is called as land productivity change. Third is which is called as SOC, soil organic carbon change. With all the mixture of this three data set, we are comparing with each other with 1O AO approach, one out, all out approach, and we are finding it out what is in degraded areas, and we are marking it in terms of remote sensing to GIS layers, and we are finding it out that particular areas. And further, we are taking it for the ground truth verifications or GT part of it with the help of state departments or state governments. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So again, it's in what is some kind of matrix we created it. If it is in bigger area part of it, if you are talking about a bigger land or maybe part of global south or south-south regions, or Asia regions, then we need to understand it. What is the climatic region for understanding the soil organic carbon? It is in temperate dry. Some coefficient factors which is given by the UNCCD good practices. We are on the basis of this, we are identifying it. What is the trend of that particular soil organic carbon in that particular land part of it. Our maximum of the areas are coming into the part of tropical dry, tropical moist part of it, or some part of it may be the temperate dry or temperate moist maybe. So maximum part of our India lands comes into the tropical dry areas, or maybe some part of it is the tropical moist, or the other part may be hardly 0% or 0.1% in the part of temperate dry areas. So with this understanding, we can able to calculate it, what is an SOC change, soil organic carbon change or trend in that particular part of land. So that is again, it's all across the data set. In one side, in the left hand side, carbon change in years, conversion factors as per the areas, climatic areas. We are talking about what is dry areas or more temperate dry area, temperate what is called as a moist area. That is tropical areas as well. So we are finding it out. That is a degradation. If it is SOC is more changing as per more 10% or less than 10%, we are finding it out. It is an improved or degraded, or in between -10 to 10%, that is called as a stable part of SOC. So again, it's a big statistics, big understanding of thresholding, and we are finding it out by SOC third indicators, which is changing in terms of trend. And that third indicators, including other two indicators, land cover change, productivity change, soil organic carbon change, comparing with each other as per the matrix, and we finding it out our degraded land. This is the matrix. Again, it is suggested by the good practices, how we can able to compare the data set. The land productivity becomes a pioneer. Where the land productivity is improving, then definitely my output results should provide an improving trend. If my land cover or SOC is also improving or remains stable in that particular part of it. If anyone is red in color or in declining trend, my result is also in declining trend. That is what is called as one out, all out approach. 1O AO approach. If it isn't anyone is completely in declining, moreover the same in that particular part or particular part of land, it is declining in trend. Otherwise, if all across are stable, then it isn't stable. So that is matrix. On the basis of this, we created some kind of formula, some kind of matrix comparison methods, and we are comparing with this all the indicators and providing an output, and we are reporting that particular part of land that is degraded and how much of the area is degraded. But anyhow, at the with the various activities of afforestations or best practices, we are finding it out, the improved land bright spot also, that also we are reporting it, and we say that particular part of land from degraded or stable, which comes off or as a part of improved land. So that is called as an degradation status, how we can able to compare it, act logically. So for India region, this is the statistics year 2022. That is revealed by the ministry or UNCCD as well. So where the red part, we are finding it out, that is all across the degraded land. But the maximum, which is part in the part of what is called as a West Rajasthan, which is there in Ladakh, the upper part of it. But in the center part of it, we are coming towards the Karnataka or Western Ghats or center Madhya Pradesh regions, or part of it, or in the bottom or what is called as an Andhra part of it, we are finding it out, the brightest spot, small green color like dots, that is an improved land. But other maximum are red part of land, red circle land, that is called as degraded. If we try to talk about the neutrality, land degradation neutrality, this we need to make it balance, or red color dots we need to decrease it, or green color areas or improved part of land, we need to improve it. On the basis of this assessment, we find it out what is our status. So the hot spots are highly vulnerable to the degradations, and maybe if it is prolonged for a longer period, more than 5 years or 10 years, then that particular part of land comes into the process of desertifications, where biological activities not be get restored after that particular period. That as per our understanding, as per our technical documents. So so status of land degradation for country of Armenia. So the red part of it, which is degraded, where the green part is there, or yellow part of it there, that is stable. Green part is improved land. We find it out that particular land with the confidence levels where we are finding it out, doing some kind of GT ground surveys. Then we report it to the government of Armenia, and where that particular country need to take in measures to restore that particular part of land. So that is very difficult. We are talking about that we need to do it, the data collections, then we are comparing it. Then we need to do the ground truth verification for a larger country like India, where the 32 or more, or 32.8 lakh square kilometers, more than that. I'm still bad in statistics. I'm not able to take the area of country India, but this countries again you have this statistics in terms of percentage. So we find it out the 47 is stable, but only 3 point more than less than 3%, which is improving, but in decreasing trend, approximately 50% of land in that particular country as well. So that is statistics. Restore area. So that is a one example for restoration with the help of what is called as Corina level classifications, which is generally it's a term of Corina level classification in EU countries, European countries, where they are talking about what is a land parcel, what is a land parcel number, and if it is improved, then the land categorization or land use categorization should be different. So new number they are providing it in spite of 131 to 1 or 324 something. So that is a classification. And from the 1990 and this 2000, after one decade period, that particular part is in terms of improving. So just example I'm providing for that particular country. For act of restoration, we are finding it out this kind of land in terms of remote sensing data set in false color composites. So elements of again we are talking about what all the elements are there. So we talk about that as degradation. Integrated, we started with SLOPE, which is called as an integrated spatial land use planning, integrated land management. So what all the components are there? The resource assessment, first we need to do it. We need to identify our resources, what is available, what is degrading, what is ecological measures are there or values of that particular land we need to take it. So that is assessment part of it. We need to do it first. That is primary level, what we talk about. Then at the top of it, we need to do the planning, how we can able to use that particular land cover. The land cover, that is cover of that particular land, but how we can able to utilize for daily purposes, for our purposes, that is moreover in terms of land use. So land use for planning, prioritization of that particular area, how we utilize it. We want to do the agriculture cropping? No, it is land, it is a very prime land. In spite of cropping, if it is good to do the what is it, plantation practices, or otherwise different practices, we also can able to think about it. So that is prioritizations. In spite of this, we can able to open and park in spite of doing in particular cropping activities. So that we need to think about. In an urban areas, people are talking about in parks, or not in cropping and not in forest generally. So that we need to think about. Stakeholders engagement. Not we need to do it. I'm a very big person, so my words are there always. So we need to engage all the peoples of that particular surrounding areas. And on the basis of this, we need to take a decision for land use planning or land use change. In spite, we are talking about for all these practices. Implementation strategies, what all the targets are there after an intermediate target, how we can able to do the appraisals. That is an implementation strategies from where we are going to get a fund as well to improve that particular part of it, how we can able to implement a particular planning. So that funding we also need it, and also need an participation of our local community people, stakeholders, governments, province peoples. Also we need to do an participation practices. Monitoring and evaluation, different intermediate stages, we need to monitor that particular area with different means. And if it is required, still that particular planning it is not working, then we need to talk about how we can able to improve or do an appraisal that particular part of. Then the remote sensing based assessment for degradations, what is improved land is there. Again, in the centers, remote sensing comes into a play. So that is an all across and characteristics we are talking about. Then the key characteristics are shared management from ILM. ILM means land use management. How we can able to do the sharing of management objectives. Your objective is same, my objective is same. Then on the basis of this, we dug a road and we all across we use and pipes or common pipes to not to dig the roads or manholes multiple times to restore that particular services. Okay, so that it's a good example where we are talking about every organizations or every particular institutions, they'll try to dig a hole, and we find it out the road in the rainy seasons it is not proper for our walking even. So that practices we also need to understand it for the bigger part of land. So shared management objectives, contribution to the multiple aims, sustainable synergies and management, multiple stakeholder engagements, policies and conventions follow-ups. So with all the works what we are doing it, we need to follow our local policies and conventions to maintain the land sustainable. Okay, so that is elements of slope. What are the land use planning tools I'm using it right now for that particular country reportings or other countries works also? That is an open tool, Quantum GIS, which is also called as an QGIS for land cover assessment, spatial management, or at the back also we can able to run the PY codes, Python codes to assess this particular whole workflow, like in land cover change, like in productivity and trends in particular, what is soil organic carbon. All together we need to compare it, that particular workflows we can able to make in PY or particular model tools, and we can able to follow it. Then again we are talking about an SCP, semi-automatic classifiers for land use land cover classification and accuracy assessment also. Accuracy assessment, it can able to provide what is called as an EUC, what is called as an overall accuracy, K-hat or kappa statistics by using that particular tool. So that every time people are talking about in remote sensing, how much land is, how much the cover you, how much it's an accurate in terms of land cover, how much it's correct in terms of our land earth. So at that time, we have not the answer to say I'm very much exact 10% or 100% as per our land cover. Maybe as per the testing, as per the GT points or verifications, we can able to apply it at this particular sample point or multiple locations. We sampled that particular area, identified that particular same land cover and said that is an accuracy. Area under the curve, or in comparison with other data set, we find it out the TOC or EUC, true operating characteristics or area under the curve, or with the GT points or ground truthing points, we find it out the overall accuracy or kappa statistics, and we say this much of accuracy we observed it with this particular land cover or this particular GT points. Then Trend.Earth, it's an cloud-based platform. At the back, Google Earth Engine, which is working on, which is the tool which is provided by free tool, which is provided by the UNCCD. You need to register it. You need to provide your email ID and that particular password. And on the basis of these credentials, it can able to provide you the various kind of land cover data set, ESA data set for an 2000 to 2022 or 24, and we can able to download it for our country level. And if we have not the land cover, so that particular land cover, we use it for finding it out the change between the time period and simultaneously the soil cover change and what is called as land productivity. They are also providing the data set with the collaborations of different international agencies for our India country and other part of countries. And that data set, we also can able to use it for doing our land cover change or land cover degradation assessment. And with this assessment, we also can able to report it with the crude form of data set. Crude form is not very what data set, 250-meter data set, 1 kilometer of data set that we are using it. But if you have the better land cover data set or better data set, by using that, if you report it, you find it out the better answers or better identified areas. So I already talked about it. That is World Overview for Conservation Approaches and Technologies. It is providing the sustainable land management practices database for that all the practices, best practices, which is stored in the part of it, how we can able to do it, what is a white paper, all about the informations about that particular practices for different part of land to improve that particular condition of land. That particular practices all are listed, maximum are listed on WOCAT portal. So another one which is called as GPS based or GNSS viewer based verifications. So GPS it's helpful for identifying a particular area or locating that particular point or degraded areas. By using that, the GPS cameras or different applications we are using it. That is GPS map viewer or GNSS map viewer or cameras. So that is all across this tools. I used it till yet for doing that particular identification of hotspot degraded areas or improved bright spot areas, and that particular informations in terms of area or point location or coordinates I'm sharing with the team. Okay, so act with the planning. If you are going on to a particular field, then we need to use that particular tools definitely. So appraisal of slope once again. So slope integrated approach are there. So how much we are thinking about with this particular practices, and one day, 1 year, or in next year we can able to change everything. It is not possible. But we need to improve it slowly, how the socially it is acceptable, that particular part, and making an in spite of park, it's in forest area, tree cover area, how much it's an acceptable by my society. No one comes to up to put that particular part of big trees or forest land into the part of that particular park area. In spite of this, with grassland, some park, some corners at the particular corners, and kind of plant we can able to implant it. But not all across in forest area we can able to take it. Not across in cropland or agriculture practices we all started at that particular part of land. So in spite of this, people are in urban area, people are thinking about why not it's in park or some kind of vegetations we can able to introduce it. Not in common areas like in forest or like in agriculture or in some kind of mixed kind of land where people can able to comment. That is called as in parks and gardens, with my understanding. The socially acceptable practices, we need to do it in urban areas. Sustained influence. So we need to in the pace with that particular policies and convention to improve that particular land. Economically feasible. Also, this much economy is that this much of money I can able to invest to improve that particular desertified or degraded land. So that much, how much in economy or money we can able to infuse to improve that particular land, we need to think about it. What is the sources there, where we get this particular fund, how much it's sustainable for us as well. The permissible by law, policies and conventions, definitely we need to think about it. So as we are aware about what is forest land, the forest definition. So I'm very interested to let you know what is forest definition right now. We are working with Indian Council of Forest Research and Educations. So what is the terminology is there behind the forest? So forest, that is area, administrative areas. And right now, tree outside the forest as well also considered in part of forest, in spite if it is the height is more than 3 meter and its canopy density are more than 10%, it is identified as a part of forest, and we not able to cut down that particular tree without any permissions or without any legal obligations. We not able to cut it down, and it's a penalty even, or like an imprisonment for long term, as per the laws of government of India. So that is right now it's a law. So if you want to cut it down for any particular social purpose, then you need to pay as some kind of penalty, and you need to take in permissions, and despite of that particular single tree, you need to plant in 2 trees of similar nature in surrounding the areas. Otherwise you not get the permission to cut it down, whatever the situation is there. So one of my friend is there, so we did it, and in the it's a very difficult event, and many things we need, many permissions from the forest office, rangers, and providing the information to the society. We need to do it. So that is act rationally. We need to do it, plan it, and do it accordingly to improve that particular part of land. So that is appraisal of slope. What are the best practices for sustainable land management, how we can able to improve it? So one of the best technique, which is called as Japanese techniques, is called as Miyawaki techniques, where the mulch any particular part of land in forest or in any particular part of land. So the 2 practices I've seen in India till yet, where I am integrated in that particular part of it, which is there in State Forest Uttarakhand. One is in Central University of South Bihar, Gaya. Then there, after the construction of that particular universities, the land is get degraded due to the sand, due to the cement, due to the various practices of constructing and improving in residential areas or universities areas. Many part of the land which is get degraded. So Miyawaki technique, it's mulch or remove upper part of the soil. First part of it, that particular removal of that particular soil, top layers, improve the moisture conditions, and plant a different species at a particular gap, and we find it out the result after 3 or 4 years 10 times denser and 30 times faster than the traditional methods. Many other small things are there in the part of it, which is there listed in the WOCAT practices and Japanese techniques. You find it out in the Google. Tiny forest methods, it's an improved part of Miyawaki technique, focused on creating a denser forest or denser regions in terms of what is called as trees, native forest in all the urban areas. So how we can able to increase the health or productivity of that particular land or that particular plant, that is tiny forest methods. The biomimicry, mimic the natural forest ecosystem to create a sustainable resilient landscape. Erodium copy, it is more about how we can able to stabilize the soil. If the soil is proper, organic contents are there, definitely we can able to ensure the growth of our plants or agricultural crops as well. So erodium copy, it is one of the good method to restore the soil or stabilize the soil erosions. The Binny grassland, it's an Indian method, improve the ecosystem productivity, socioeconomic resilience, local community dependence on grassland. So grassland, again, I'm talking about what is pasture land and grassland. So they improve the condition of grassland. With this, the grassland stores the carbon of that particular land or soil conditions, and where the crop or plantations are easily providing and good productivity in that particular region. So that particular practices are also onto the Google, or if you find it out, I can able to provide you in that particular manual. That is a manual first cover copy I just pasted in the part of it. So this, all the practices are there into it. The paddy cum fish cultivations in Andhra, that practices are happened. Land shaping intervention for paddy plus fish cultivation in the rice fields. They did it, that particular practices also very famous in the part of southern region, Andhra part of the region. Probably this practices first started in the part of Chittoor as per my awareness. So that particular best practices, we need to find it out which is suitable for restoring that particular land. We are also finding it out the degradation part of it, that particular degraded area. If you verified it, that what all the practices, what all the silviculture practices we need to implant it to grow that particular area or improve the condition of that particular land. If the land is not there, conditions are not proper, then our survival, our sustainabilities are also into the part of question mark. So that is, as per my understanding, that is all the practices. Other practices are also there, but these practices I find it out important for our Indian conditions and other countries as well. So that I suggested to many of my team members. The conclusion of it, anthropogenic activities, which is called as human activities. It is imperative to take the immediate action to halt the degradation. We need to break that particular degradation process. What will are degrading it? I'm doing all the negative works, but anyway, we need to halt at the particular point of junction. Otherwise, our life sustainables are very difficult in next 10 years. Identifications of land degradations areas on country data sets by using finer resolution data set, which is called as tier 2 data set, and hotspot based prioritization effort. If we find it out in hotspot in that particular region, why not we do a high level of finer level data set or precise data set, more precise data set for that particular areas where we find it out, what is the causes, what is the regions in that particular degradation region. The mitigation efforts are hampered due to the divergent views of land degradation in relation to other challenges. The mitigation efforts are hampered if it is not all the stakeholders are together to take an actions towards degradations, then it's not a single-handed mitigation efforts can be survived longer. The monitoring process for mitigations, definitely by using RSGS data sets to align the restoration practices with the national aspiration and state policies, definitely. Food securities, ecosystem functions, land degradations are strongly interlinked, need to be addressed with the historic manners. So that is moreover in the conclusion part of whole slide. That is beneficial for our sustenance. Then the next part of it, what is the way forward? So we need to tackle any kind of problem by using an integrated approach, integrated framework approach to manage it all across, all around the solutions. Why not we find it out the RHS? Why not we taken some kind of best practices to manage that particular land? Why not we can able to go into the ground to do some kind of verification and find it out the drivers for that particular land degradations. All the land degradations are there definitely by using an anthropogenic activities, manual activities. But we also need to understand it, what all the prime reasons are there behind it, what all the key drivers are there. Why I'm not in mad people to go and definitely destroy in particular our land surface, like in forest, like in crop areas. But some kind of reasons are there behind it due to the economic activities, due to my survival, or that is maybe hunger, or some different regions are there. One part of it also there, like in forest fire. Every year in the forest, the fires are happening there. It's a recurrent part of region, but we not able to take in control till yet. That is also one driver for that particular degradation part of forest or adjacent crop and agriculture areas also. Food securities, food security, ecosystem functions, land degradation is strongly interlinked, need to address in a historic manners. So with this particular degradations, our food securities are also in part of question mark. In GHG emissions, greenhouse gas, carbon emissions, or different gas emissions, our air qualities are also degrading. That carbon which is released into the atmosphere by any kind of afforestation activities by our plants or trees, which is get absorbed and stored in form of the plant carbon, that is called as carbon sequestration. So the government is also doing the plantation activities, crore plantation activities in UPs, in Western Ghats, which is going on every year. But what is at the end of the results, we aware about it. So to align the restoration practices with national policies or state policies, definitely we need to align ourselves in terms of state policies or government policies. We need to improve the land, we need to do the plantations, and every year many occasions we are doing the plantations as per the government agencies. But how much we improve the land, how much we reach the objectives, so we also need to think about it. That is the way forwards. So thanks from my side. This is my last slide. Thanks for your considerations. Any query if you have in terms of technically or any part of my presentation, kindly let me know, please.
Audience, this is obviously question answer round. So if you have any question, please. Sir, there is a question in the chat box. It is written that what is the crucial connection between biodiversity loss and climate change mentioned in one of your slide?
Crucial connections. I'm not very much aware about what is the relationship, but definitely it's in climate irrigations are going on. We are aware about the temperatures are soaring up and the precipitations are decreasing. Precipitation season, rainfall seasons are decreasing in terms of seasons. So definitely the diversities like different plant species are not surviving, or maybe animals are moving from one particular part to different part of land, and their habitats are secreting, or only in not in bigger part of it is secreting. So that we understand it, that is diversity in part of land in terms of animal, in terms of species are changing. But what is the relations, what is an exact relations, I'm not able to talk about, but definitely it is changing. We are also feeling in part of Himalayan regions or different part of our countries.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, another question is given here. How can geospatial technologies such as GIS, remote sensing, UAV, and digital twin models strengthen ISLUP self workflow?
Yeah, definitely it's an integrated approach. Integrated approach means like how we are making a tea in our home, how much we are adding in sugar, we find it out in good taste. So it is an integrated approach. If you want to use the RSGIS dataset, we are using an RSGIS dataset. UAV dataset, definitely it's a high spatial resolution dataset. High spatial resolution dataset, we get and find a more correct, precise dataset in spite of CORSAT dataset, which is from a Spaceman satellite. We can use it. Digital twins integration, once again, different kind of dataset together we are taking into the one particular platform for assessing it and managing an outputs or different different solutions we can able to build at the top of it. So that is all across the data set, how we integrate it, how we can able to use it. As per my understanding is like UAV data set for smaller areas, and it's a costly affair right now. Why not we assess it by using open data set or different CORSAT satellite data set, which is maybe 30 meter, which is maybe it's 100 meters around data set, but we find it out as some kind of clue in that particular part of land, which is degrading, which is changing rapidly. Why not for a smaller region, despite for whole country, we take it higher, costlier data set for finding it out the precise information. With this, we save our time. We can able to provide the output. We have a mandate right now in every twice a year. We need to complete this whole study, do the ground truth verification with the coordination of different team members, and that verified result we need to compile in form of a particular report, or we need to present in front of ministries, government, then we need to report it to the UN agencies. So that is constraints are there. So everything we can able to include it, but we need an effort at the back of it. So the progress or the method is there as per my understanding, with my experience. Why not we take and data set, which is open, which is less of charge, where we find the change, then we think about it, or we need to take in decisions what we need to do it next. And later on also, after finding it out these changes, why not we talk about the mitigations effort? Why not we do the afforestation activities or improving of the land? There we need to monitor and part of land, a smaller land, by using this kind of means of data set, which is UAV. UAV data set, approximately it is providing the data set of 1 centimeter, and it's a very costly affair, and we need and permission from the local government, state agency people to survey that particular area by using a DGCA approved pilot or drones, as well as drones as well. So that is very costly affair and need and train people and times and effort at the back of it. So we need to think again. We have a country, whole country, not in particular part of land. So that is my understanding. Maybe it's a good reply for your question right now.
Definitely, sir. Thank you. Sir, there is a
Yes,
question related to Armenia.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
Deepanjali Dhanuji asked here, how do geopolitical constants in Armenia compare with India's regional planning challenges near international borders?
Yeah, it's a big question in Armenia actually. That is the country which is surrounded by in upper what is northern part by Georgia, Russia, and in the eastern part of it by Azerbaijan, and the bottom part by Iran. So the countries uh, that is the country is a smaller country, like in Uttarakhand part of it, only uh, very small country even, or many of the things they are exporting it from what is called as Soviet Russia country, Georgia, Iran, but from one of the neighboring countries they are not having good relationship, or they have not pathways or what is called as an roadways to come from that particular hilly areas. Like one part it's in mountain is there, which is called as an Ararat mountain. So that part where the mountains are there, and not any easy communication, not any easy commuting's are there in that particular regions. So other parts they have a good relations with what is called as Georgia, Iran, for their survival. So geopolitical tensions sometimes it happens. Why not they are taking my services? Why not they are taking the food from my countries? Why not chocolates? Why not beers or something? So that is all across the geopolitical, sometimes to put in pressures to make in relations, or with the pressures within particular friendships. This all things are going on for our countries also, which is going on with our neighboring countries. So that is geopolitical, and I'm not directly involved in that particular relationships. It's a part of government or higher ministry people's like. So we need to see it, we need to think about it, and our well wishers are there, we need to pray for them. That we are doing it, nothing extras. It is not in our control. Like,
Thank you, sir. So, audience, I think there are enough questions here. We have taken any important question more? Sir, last question we can take, and this
yeah, so
is
definitely not issue.
yes, sir. What are the important practices for the land configuration and any technical device that we can use for best land for the crop?
Best instrument, sir. Again, it's a question. It is not very comfortable for me. Please ask me once. Let me know what is in details, please, sir.
Basically, sir, they are asking, means two people ask the same thing.
Hmm.
For better production of crop,
Hmm.
what are the technical devices through them we can find the land is proper or not?
Sir, I'm not an right person to provide in
Yeah, definitely,
what is
sir.
called as a reply for this particular question, in spite of abstract reply.
Okay, sir. So I think with this, we start to the vote of thanks. So here I would like to invite Professor Mrs. Pratima Kushwaha to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. I extend my deepest thanks to the eminent speaker, Mr. Ramkumarji, Senior Consultant, Center of Excellence for Sustainable Land Management, ICFRE, Dehradun, for delivering such an insightful and inspiring session today on Sustainability Development Goals. The way you explained the topic is phenomenal. Your expertise, passion, and vision in integrated spatial land use planning have provided us with valuable perspective that will undoubtedly influence and inspire our future endeavors. We appreciate how you skillfully highlighted land degradation, neutrality, and connected them to the current challenges and opportunity. Thank you, sir, once again.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ram sir.
Thanks to everyone. Thanks, Akshay ji. Thanks, Vinay
Thank
ji.
you, sir.
Thanks,
Thank
Akshay.
you.
Ram
Good night,
sir.
sir.
Okay, audience, once again, the link of this session for the feedback is given to you. Please fill it so that attendance can be managed properly. As you know, I would like to remind you again, the attendance is very important. That's why it is a good time to fill the attendance. Here, I would like to mention one more thing, that it is the last day of the, tomorrow is the last day of 6 days faculty development program. So session will be starting at 2 p.m. sharp. That's why it is important for all of us to be present there and attend without failure. Since attendance is very important at the validity session, that's why all are requested to join it on time. Sessions are, the feedback link is already given. So somebody asked the feedback link is not visible. Let me see. It is already given. Sir, please scroll up and you will find the feedback link of this session. Once again, it is pasted. So please go through this. And yes, it is important message. The tomorrow's session will be starting at 2 p.m. So therefore, it is important for all the participants to attend it.
Vinay sir, let's end the session.
Yeah. Okay. For today's, participants, good night for today. Okay.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
participants. Thank you for joining us.